So once again, welcome to Life is Beautiful.
Oh, I love it out here. Isn't it? I mean, first of all, the weather couldn't be better, and just walking around, everybody's in a good mood. The music has been great so far, and the alcohol has definitely been flowing. Most importantly,
Now, for a food guy, what is your alcohol? What is the alcohol that you drink that you like? It goes with any food,
I think the answer to that is yes.
perhaps.
I'm just kidding. I'm not that bad. Uh, I it depends on what I'm drinking. Obviously, I love wine. I'm a big wine fan. If I were to just drink wine without food, I'd probably um, start with some white stuff. I'm a big lover of aged Burgundies, things like that. I love Italian reds, big Barolos and Barbarescos and things of that nature. I find them to be very food friendly, clearly. But if I had my druthers, I'm a Scotch guy. I'm a big Macallan drinker, and also Casa Dragones tequila. That's my tequila of choice, so to speak. So that doesn't leave a lot out, does it? I mean, I kind of went through like a big range and a lot of stuff, but yeah. So Casa Dragones tequila is normally, I always have a bottle of that on the table somewhere.
No, last time we talked to you, you said a book come out.
Yes.
How did that book go for
It
you?
went great. The Scarpetta cookbook came out about a year ago, and I'm already kind of thinking about what the next book is going to look like and feel like and frankly taste like. So, and I'm working on a couple new restaurants as well. I have a restaurant in Miami that's going to open up, well, actually in Aventura at Turnberry Isle, which is a hotel in Aventura. It's called Corsair by Scott Conant, and it's going to be great. It's right on a golf course. The setting is perfect. The weather clearly in Miami is always great. So opening it in the end of November, beginning of December. So it's like the perfect time to not be in New York City, where I'm based, when it's so cold. So it's kind of
Now,
perfect.
when you open a new restaurant, do you try to find a theme? I mean, it could be like one kind of meat or one kind of fruit or one kind of thing. If you were to say what this new Miami place is going to be, what is the feel for this new one?
Well, the feel is it's pretty simple. I try to find the most simple, straightforward idea, and then just kind of just elevate it a touch. So. What we're doing down there is just elevated farmhouse cooking. It's not necessarily Italian. It's not necessarily American. I mean, it's inspired by the farmhouses, I would say, of the Mediterranean as well as the U.S. So there's some little simple things like pancakes that are like souffles. With a chamomile cream, for example, and poached eggs. But it's a three-meal restaurant, so poached eggs over this beautiful grilled rustic bread with a little salad of avocado and then poached eggs on top of that with some Aleppo pepper, smoked Aleppo pepper over the top of that. Things like that are really straightforward, very simple, but just kind of like elevated a touch, if that makes sense.
So you were here yesterday too. What was your favorite thing yesterday? Was it Kanye? Was it some of the food, or what was it for you?
It was, just walking around and speaking to people and just being present, I think, inside this great atmosphere. Everyone's in a good mood. There's no douchebags, which is cool. And you know what I'm talking about when I say that. So that's been great. The other thing that I really loved is just the appreciation. I think walking around and meeting people, whether they be members of the band that we've met or just people who are here to listen to some music. They're just appreciative that this is happening downtown Las Vegas, and I think it's just great for the city.
Now, one chef we talked to recently said that Las Vegas is pretty much built for foodies because everything is essentially brought here. So you have to want it. Like you have to want seafood for it to come to the desert. You have to
Yeah.
want great chefs for them to come to this town, things like that.
Yeah, it's a great point. I mean, there's only so much cactus one can eat, I guess. Stuff gets stuck in your teeth.
Cooking
Yeah,
cactus is there.
it's there, but there's only so much you could get into. Um, so yeah, I mean that's 100% true. I agree with that. How many great chefs are in this city? For chefs from all over the world. I mean, from Gordon. I just did my first tour of Guy Savoy's restaurant at Caesars. It's unbelievable, that place. So you have world-class dining, and you also have some very approachable dining as well, and it's Las Vegas, for crying out loud. I mean, who doesn't love being here?
Speaking of, the greats this out there. Every time we see people's resumes, they always talk about the great restaurants, the Michelin restaurants in New York or Los Angeles. But I think we're almost to the next generation that's going to come out of Las Vegas too, aren't we?
Well, you know what? The interesting thing about Las Vegas restaurants, and the one thing that I always look for when I'm speaking to people for the Las Vegas market. I have two restaurants here. So the one thing that I find is very important is their operational skills. So you're inside. Normally, you're inside a hotel, which means you have to be much more diligent with your numbers. It's very different than doing an independent restaurant. So most independent restaurants in New York, there's a certain ease with it, I would say. But in Las Vegas, you need to find that balance between the art and the business, and where those two come together. It's a very interesting mix. And I would say, if anything, that's what a lot of the chefs in Las Vegas have an edge over a lot of other chefs in other markets.
Now, food and charity go hand in hand. Have you got a chance to do any fun charity this week?
Oh my God, I do so much charity. We just did an event a couple weeks ago here at the Lou Ruvo Center, as a matter of fact, downtown Las Vegas, with Michael Bublé. I did the food, and he put on like an hour, and a little over an hour and a half concert or so. And it was amazing. It was just, we raised a bunch of money for charity. I myself did an auction item where I'm cooking for some people after they get a tennis lesson from Andre Agassi, which was a blast. I raised a bunch of money for charity with that. And throughout the year, there's certain things that we do. No Kids Hungry is a big thing on my radar this year. Lollipop Theater is another thing that kind of came into fruition, and really like helping kids fulfill some dreams as far as the theater is concerned. Yeah, a whole bunch of things. I mean, it's too much to name. City Meals on Wheels, City Harvest in New York City, a lot of stuff.
So when it comes to food, of course, you get to travel a lot and try different things. Is there anything you're trying to ingrain into your cooking right now? Any special spice or fruit or fish or anything you found that you want to figure out in the lab, how to make it work for you?
My whole thing is about simplicity, and how do we take very simple flavors and kind of get them a little bit more focused, a little bit more honed. So if I taste something, I really like one element of it or one texture of it, I'll try to kind of focus in on that a little bit more, and try to figure out how do we get the best of what that ingredient is, so to speak. So lately some things like sumac and Aleppo pepper that I just mentioned, some different spices, and how those blend together very well. I'm actually doing a demo tomorrow on the culinary stage, and I'm cooking a ribeye of beef with a bunch of different spices, Szechuan pepper and cumin and all that kind of stuff, and seeing how that all weaves together, and talking to people about how they can cook that at home and make it easy, simple, and straightforward.
We had some other chefs who were talking about the fact that, they get people who are fans of whatever they do, or the bigger ideas, or the TV, but some of them just want to learn how to cook too, right?
Absolutely. It all boils down to food. So no matter what you do, whatever other advertising platform you have, I mean, ultimately you have to deliver on the food product. That's what it's all about. That's where it starts, and hopefully that's where it ends.
Now, a question we've kind of been asking everyone here, with the way you cook things, when you cook something and you feel like you've hit a home run, what do you master up to when you were younger? Like, is there something your mom made or you made the first time in culinary school where you're trying to reach that perfection every time, that first emotion?
That's it. It's emotion. It's emotion. And no matter where that emotion stems from, it's obviously something personal. And how do you hone and focus on that personalized flavor profile where it resonates with you, but these flavors are so subjective sometimes. Some people love different things than what I love. I mean, clearly. So where does that inspiration come from? It just comes from a series of different things, whether it be something you experienced when you were out to dinner one night, or if it was something that I experienced as a child, or if it's something recent where I never tasted something before and it was awesome. Yeah.
All right, well, since we're in Las Vegas, if they're coming by one of your two restaurants here, what are the top choices they should make? So, a little bit. So if people are coming to Las Vegas, one or two restaurants, what are the things they should definitely try if they want to get a taste of that restaurant, in your opinion?
Well, DOCG is kind of a casual inoteca, very rustic food. We have this semolina cavatelli with a ragu of sausage and porcini mushrooms that I ate one last night. As a matter of fact, didn't. I went in with some friends. We it was late after the show, and we sat down. And after we were done with our meal, I said to the chef, Gina, could you just do me a favor and send out that semolina cavatelli, because it's just spectacular. I just love it. So that's one of them, and it's scarpetta. There's a creamy polenta with a fricassee of truffled mushrooms that I love it. A lot of people come specifically for the spaghetti with tomato and basil, but again, if you hear what I'm saying, they're just really simple, straightforward flavors.
All right, and finally, for the people who are hardcore fans and followers, they're already following you on Twitter and everything else. Where can they maybe see you coming up in the future? Is there any fun adventures coming up? Any trips they might find us from?
Pardon me. If people follow me on Instagram, it's at Conant NYC, Conant NYC on Instagram. I'm always posting some things that I'm doing currently, or where I'm going to be, or what's going on, and where I'm going. So nothing that I can think of off the top of my head, but tomorrow, I guess at 4:15, I'll be at the Container stage cooking. So we'll start there.
All right, well, thank you very much.